can't be schemed. Roll your when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is...
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let him know. Under 382, last 50. Wide.
Cousins to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
It's going to be a long day. 51 the mic, boy. 51. I'm coming for you, son. Black.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Lions.
Set. 59. 180. We got. Move on the heart. Ready, move.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. That is caught inside the 5. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's caught. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Golladay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0.
Makes the score Lions 7, Vikings nothing. Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. Coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Gun. Jim. Here we go.
Throwing is Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Two. Pilot, 64, wait. 44 is the mic. How you get on the head?
From the gun, here's Cousins. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Ready. Blue 60. 59. Strip the ball. Strip that. 11. And middle.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Set. 260. 54. Hey, tight down. There you go. Hey, red.
Throwing again. Stafford looking for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set. Get a 20. 59.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Stafford now to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Credit to tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Now Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Cousins now from the 50. And complete right side to Cook.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Cousins now. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Romeo Okwara in there to drop him at sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Hey, no, easy. Watch the slant. New Mike 52, Mike 52. Watch the back, watch the back. Bravo. No, check that. We want Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. And let's get... Hey, can. What's that?
3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did. Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, it's Johnson, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, he'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
A gain of 22 yards. And the Lions first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Yellow lady! Yellow lady! 32! General West!
Stafford on first down. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Stafford. That is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Check a step. Get a 20. 50.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Hey man, watch the boot. Right here, guys. Fight.
Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Single. Now single the slot.
Yellow.
To throw, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
51's the mark. 51.
Throwing, Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Damon Harrison picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He sets to fire deep. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, standing just about on his own goal line.
First and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
We own it.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Set. 280. Omaha. Ready, move. Slam.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ben Gideon with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start by running the option to the right. On 1st down, Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Boy, the run on 1st down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
Check, 59. Pin.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And it is 28-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 20-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
4th down now after a loss of 2. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Set. 180. Big 20.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll run on first down. Johnson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run it with Johnson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poke free. Football's out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
He's coming. He's coming. Check.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.